Well, at least it wasn't a lens. So it's official, ladies and gentlemen, I am now an international man of travel, because in my last set of videos I was in Switzerland and France, and now you join me from the beautiful Arches National Park in Utah. And I'm not alone, ladies and gentlemen, I am with the one, the only, the infamous Nick Page.
Da-da-da!
Hang on, were you in shot then? I can't see. Yes, Nick Page, ladies and gentlemen.
All alone again tonight, but you don't seem to forget about yourself. Wondering how it could go so wrong, but you didn't call for help. But let me tell you about the trees and the seas, how it's all connected.
So the reason that me and Nick are here in Utah is because we're teaching at the Out of Moab Landscape Photography Conference. And yeah, it's going to be super cool. Now I'm not actually going to be making any videos from the conference itself because I'll be too busy working and it's probably not appropriate. But actually I'm quite pleasantly surprised that the conference allows for a bit of free time for myself. So fingers crossed, I'll get to explore a few locations for myself, which is going to be fantastic. Hopefully get some content for you guys. Because I have to say, the whole area around Moab just looks jaw-dropping. It's beautiful.
So here's a reminder to look at life that's pouring into you. And so my friend,
So it's a bit windy, so I apologise if there is any wind noise. But yeah, we are here at the beautiful Corona Arch. It's absolutely fantastic. Now the reason we're here is because the event organisers, they recommended that we come and do a recce before leading a group of 10 photographers into this location, because they said it's a bit of a hike in and it's a bit sketchy, so you might want to check it out. And I'm glad I did, because the hike in wasn't the easiest to navigate. You could clearly see where you could go wrong, and the hike was a little bit sketchy, especially leading the blind at night time. It wouldn't have been ideal, so glad we're here. It's breathtaking. We have a beautiful Corona Arch there, and right above my head is another fantastic arch. We're here until sunset, so me and Nick are going to have a look around and see if we can get an image. So the sun has now set. I've probably been waiting about 45 minutes with my composition set ready to take the photograph at the perfect moment between night and day. And I don't think that's going to happen. Unbelievable! You have to laugh. You have to laugh. I think the moment's gone. I say the moment, I think it's getting quite dark now, and I still can't get this shot. And I don't want to go and ask them to move, because I have no right to be here any more than they do. So it's just one of those unfortunate things where I've waited for 2 hours, and then it's just all been taken away from me at the last second, just as the light was getting good. I refuse to complain. It's just comical. Oh, and the light's really good now. Oh, come on.
No problem. Thank you. Sure.
Nick's just been a hero and asked them to move. Okay, no pressure. So Nick very bravely and very kindly asked if those people wouldn't mind moving so we could take a photograph, and they were so nice, and they did move. They're all there now, and we're all enjoying this beautiful, beautiful evening. The sun has long set now. It is getting dark, although this camera may not suggest that it's getting dark, but it really is getting dark, and the conditions are really pleasant. The sky is a very deep blue, purple colour, and the rock just seems to... The rock is a very almost reddy orange colour with a hint of magenta, and it's all working rather nicely. Now, I'm not blown away by this image. I think it's a nice photograph, but it's not overly inspiring. But just to talk you through the technical settings, I'm shooting at f11 and I've focused on the arch itself, and it's given me about a 1.5 to 2 second exposure, no filters. It's just a simple composition. I don't think it's the best image in the world, but to be honest, just the experience of being here alone is totally worthwhile, and it is a photograph well worth taking. So before it gets completely dark, I'll grab this photograph. f11, 2 second exposure with a 2 second timer. And it is a rather nice image, and a beautiful time of day for photography as we enter the blue hour.
Good luck to all of you.
Be safe on your way down.
Yeah.
So that is us done with the shoot here at Corona Arch. These guys are actually staying for night sky photography, and you know, when they walked in the shot, and I was so like disappointed, but we got chatting to them. They are so nice. They're a really nice group of people, photographers themselves, and they happily moved. We got the shot. It was a bit awkward filming because the entire group were just watching me film my piece to camera, listening to every word I was saying, which was a bit awkward. So I don't feel like I articulated myself very well. But as the ambient light started to drop and we started to enter the blue hour, for me the whole scene came alive, and that happened within like a 5-minute window. So it goes to show the difference light can make, and the different times of day, and how it's always worth getting up early and staying out late. But yeah, what a very, very, very nice evening. It's been a pleasant evening, a pleasureful day. I'm starting to talk rubbish now. I think it's a jet lag. So I'm gonna call it here. Yeah, it's been a great evening, and I'm excited for what else I'm gonna photograph on this trip.
My car against your car, I've kind of got penis envy. I feel small and insignificant.
Which is normal for him, so no problem.
So where are we going?
So, a bit of a change of scenery from the arch where you just saw me and Nick Page. So I said in this video that we had lots of free time. Turns out that was not the case, because when you think you have free time, you spend that time sleeping or catching up on emails and that sort of stuff. So the conference has been and gone. It was a great success. I'll probably talk about it more in the next video that's coming up. But for now, me and a few of the other instructors from the conference are having a bit of a lad's getaway, bit of an instructor's adventure. So I am in the car with...
Hey, it's Ryan Smith, Icon Photo.
Ryan Smith from Icon Photo, and
David Akubian, Bearwoods Photography.
So yeah, and then there's a car behind us. So the idea is, instead of going into the desert and shooting all of the arches and everything like that and dealing with the crowds, we decided to get in this beast of a 4x4 vehicle, and we're going to drive up to the Sal Mountains where there's been some heavy snowfall. But at the top of the mountain, where the snow line is, all of the aspens are turning, so we're kind of in peak autumn colour at the minute. All of those beautiful yellow aspens combined with a bit of snowfall and what looks like some mist. We don't know, we haven't been. It's a bit of a gamble, but yeah, it could be awesome. So yeah, we'll see when we get there.
We just did a little skit about how we're following an Englishman in the States with trying not to get lost, and like Thomas Heaton has a bit of a habit of getting lost right before we hit that turnaround. So now we got lost, Tom.
So somehow I'm in charge of navigation, the man from the UK is navigating the Utah mountains, and yes, I've got us lost. But we're back on track and hopefully we'll be within the gorgeous yellow aspens in seconds. In fact, we're gonna go there right now. Well, at least it wasn't a lens. So after recovering the filter, I just want to tell you about my composition. Now, it's typical that I'm in this beautiful landscape surrounded by mountains, snow, cloud, lights, leaves, autumn colours, everything. And I've been walking around, and what has caught my attention more than anything is the size of the water droplets on the fallen leaves. And what caught my attention more was the fact that there's this small body of water that looks like a disgusting, horrible drainage ditch. You know, it's the worst place I could possibly be, surrounded by all of this nature. You know, we've got a big metal fence, wooden fence here, a big drainage sewerage pipe over there because we're just by a campground, so I'm assuming this is to divert the water. It's neither here nor there. And what really caught my attention was the collection of leaves floating on the surface of the water, and all of those huge water droplets that have gathered on the leaves, and the leaves have beautiful earthy warm tones of browns and yellows and oranges, and the detail of the leaves with those water droplets is just too good to resist. So my first shot from this location is a gorgeous intimate scene, and I've managed to wriggle my tripod into place, somehow precariously balanced, half in the water, half on the bank, looking straight down with a 70-200 lens. So the shot itself is quite straightforward, no filters. I did try a polarizer, it didn't make a great deal of difference and it fell in the water, so that's out of commission. But yeah, it's all about composition and how you position all the leaves and all the chaos in your frame and trying to find order. And I made sure that there was a prominent leaf dead center in the frame with those big water droplets on, just to pull the eye in. And then it's a case of making sure that my camera is as vertical, facing straight down as possible, so not at an angle but straight down. That way you don't have depth of field issues, because when shooting this close to a subject with a 70-200, you're going to get depth of field issues. So if you can level the angle that you're shooting with the plane of focus, then that's not going to be an issue. And I'm pretty level here, so I don't think there's any problems. But yeah, it's just about being aware of your surroundings and noticing things, noticing the details. And this is a nice shot. It's probably not to everyone's taste, but it's to my taste, and it's a nice quiet scene. So I'm going to grab this shot. I'm on f11. Focusing on the leaf so you can just see the veins of the leaf pull into focus. 2-second timer so there's no camera shake. And yeah, take the shot. And it is absolutely well worth shooting. Oh, wrong lens. So this is going to turn into one of those videos with just like loads of shots. So what if we had 1, 2, this is number 3 already. And there's just photography everywhere, and it's all with the long lens. I've got the 70-200 trained on these aspen trees, all perfectly uniformed with yellow foliage and this dominant black sky behind them. And the sun, which 2 minutes ago I promise you, was coming out and backlighting all of that wonderful golden colour in the aspens. Simple composition, 4-5 vertical crop, focus on the trees, have a drink of beer, take the photograph and move on, because there is so much to shoot here. It's just, I'm in heaven right now. This is fantastic. Great photography, even better company. Right, guys? Not really, they're just listening. I had to say that. So I don't have a macro lens, but there's some really nice tiny detail in the snow. Whoa, I was almost in the snow then. Very tiny detail in the snow. And I'm gonna try and shoot it, but like I said, no macro lens. So I've just got my 70-200 on. I think the minimum focal distance is like, I don't know, I'll put it on screen. I should know this, but I don't. But yeah, check this out, it's pretty cool. So behind me you can see all of these beautiful aspen trees, and these aspen trees, they're full colour, they're autumnal colours, they don't last long, so the leaves turn and then drop, and all of these leaves are dropped into the snow and they're sunken into the snow by maybe a couple of centimetres. It's beautiful, and if you look hard enough and search for long enough, you can find these beautiful leaves. And one in particular, which I'm looking, or have been looking for the perfect leaf, and I found it. It's just one leaf, lovely yellow leaf with their beautiful water droplets on it. There's such nice detail. So you have the detail of the leaf itself, the water droplets, and then the fact that it's sunken into this pristine snow. So I'm thinking very minimalist, placing the leaf either dead center or on a third or both, because it's, why not, it's digital, right? So yeah, this is like the most lucrative location I think I've ever been to. So yeah, we'll take this beautiful, intimate, detailed shot. So I've set my camera up again, similar to the shot I did before. I was trying to have my camera, you know, on the same focal plane as the subject, and it's pretty good, which means there's no depth of field issues now. This scene, I think, is beautiful. There's a lovely soft light just filtering through the trees and washing over the snow, and the leaf is full of these beautiful droplets catching the light, so you get that crispy contrast. You know, these are the photographs that 9 out of 10 photographers would trample over and walk past, and these intimate details are, for me, what, you know, they're the images you get that other people don't. You know, so it's very difficult to replicate this, because it's not an icon, it's not a big arch, it's a fallen leaf sunken in the snow. So what's really important here is that I really spend my time focusing on the tree. Autofocus doesn't cut it. I want to manually focus this. I want to know that those water droplets are pin sharp. So I'm just going to magnify in 10 times, or magnify into times 10, and really just take my time throttling the focus wheel, you know. Just go back and forward, back and forward. And there we go. It's like focusing on stars. You'll see their water droplets glisten, and that's where I want to be. I'm at f11 because I know that's a great sharp aperture for this lens. It's a lovely soft light coming in from the trees, and it's a very, very simple image, but a joy to take, a joy to capture. Okay, so I'm quite well aware that this video might be dragging on a bit now. We've taken, what, like 17 images? And I promise you that this is the last. Whilst I've been here shooting leaves and trees and all the intimate stuff, we've been waiting for the clouds to clear off this peak. And it's finally happened, and the clearing with style, it kind of looks like an erupting volcano. And we have lovely reflections in the water, autumn colour in the mid-ground, interest with snow-covered trees on the peak itself, and a really interesting sky. So it's pretty much got everything. I'm blown away by this location. Beer, good people, good images. All in all, it's been a fantastic mini excursion out. If you are interested, I'm shooting this F11, focusing on the mountain. I've got a 3-stop medium edge graduated filter because that sky is so bright with all the snow and the foreground relatively dark. And it's, you know, effectively for a late afternoon image when the light's not always at its best. This is quite striking. And yeah, having a fantastic time. So we're going to call it now, not because the light's bad or anything. The light's fantastic. We're just going to see if we can dive off to another location and head down into the LUCHS National Park. And I've got so many images from this location. This has been fantastic. I had no idea what to expect when I came to this location, when we came to this location. Autumn colours, not at peak, a lot have fallen, but because the autumn colours had fallen, we're able to get those more intimate shots. We got beautiful mountain shots there, the light on the aspens and the dark clouds. Like super productive few hours here. So yeah, and another thing, if you notice from this location, I only use one lens, 70 to 200. Landscape photography is not a wide angle game. It really isn't. You know, there's a time and a place for any lens. So if you take anything away from this video, take that away. Right, that's me done. Thank you so much for watching as usual, and join me next time down in the LUCHS National Park. So until then, bye for now.